Has you really been far, even as decided to use even go want to look more like? Call 985-655-2500 inside the...
Here we are, back again after a good night's sleep and fresh morning of questing. We find ourselves exploring the shoreside ruins of the deep, when upon our return we notice a mercenary approaching, and hear that all too familiar bellow of the trumpet. Time to get to work. A quick stretch of the upper lumbar, and it's mission complete. With that done, it's time to mount the old man's fella. And by that I mean our trusty steed, and admire our tan in the fresh morning sun. When all of a sudden, we hear a newcomer has arrived with an even more powerful tan. So we approach his lair to obtain his tanning secrets and make quick work of his salon crew. As the mysterious man approaches, we clearly recognize him as the winner of the Bachelor Grease. But unfortunately, he tells us his secret recipe is no cap and has been stolen by some local eshays. You get me? Not bussin'. You need that X of that plunder for real. With that in mind, he lends us his spare tinny and says keep it under 6 as grease is strictly no chop. As we arrive on shore, we make a quick scout around and realize we'll have to 1v1 at least 20 dogs, so better keep this quiet. At last, we have the secret tanning recipe. But are easily distracted by a caged woman and take this as our first chance at romance, while being lured down to the beach after dark.
You look cute right now.
Thank you.
Ah, the one that got away, eh? Now with our heart broken and recipe in hand, we can return to our tanned friend for a rich reward. This is where he explains that his servant had a spare copy all along, but understands the hardship of running small business in today's political climate, so he lets us keep the original as a tax write-off. Now with our first sneak peek at a possible cultist, there's one more quest nearby, a few K up the old goat track, where an old hermit eagerly awaits.
There are gods there too, you know.
In the cave?
He then tells us he comes out here to macro-dose on mushrooms, and asks that we venture into the cave to take care of any posers trying to get in on his supply. As we head deep underground, we stumble across a statue of Hermes and find clues that the posers must be hanging out in the dank grotto behind. A quick ragdoll for good luck, and we've kept the hermit's stash secret.
I knew it!
With the quest complete, the old man leaves to enjoy his psychosis. One last thing to do is head back into town and grab a quick daily from Hermes' statue. Looks like this one will take us high up the mountainside into the wolf's lair. We bring the farmer his pelts, and that's every quest complete. Now the question remains, are we now forced to leave the island, or can we live here eternally? Well, kinda. You see, at this point, we usually have to return to Barnabas, and everyone wishes us a fond farewell.
Yes, bring it in.
And it's quite tempting to leave with this sweet new ship to pimp out.
Right out of this exhaust.
So everything's complete. The takedowns, the stealth kills, the toge, and most importantly, the friendship. But now we have a chance to essentially double our starting play area with new free content. This opens up as soon as we complete Chapter 1 when speaking with this local cruise ship saleswoman. So let's jump on board and set sail into the glorious Mediterranean as our new adventure awaits. So straight up, we're about 6 months into a full blinder when our best buds from AA come to check on us. So it's time to gain composure with one full deep breath in and out. So let's team up with our good pals Barnabas and Herodotus, or as the ancient Greeks would teach us, Barnabas and Herodotus. So as much as we've enjoyed our Magid retreat, it's time to sneak into our Batcave and blow the dust off our old Malacca stained gear. Which, mind you, is where we unlock our sweet new straw hat. And although looks may be deceiving, this is exactly as useless as you'd think, but with the added bonus of 99% sunburn resistance. Enough to make even Greece's most beautiful man jealous. So let's head out and explore this massive new island with our first quest. And like that, we already have our first clue when a familiar theme emerges. Apparently the next one is at the Cyclops encampment. We make our way down to the beach by sunrise and discover our next clue amongst some friendly, down-to-earth Spartan men, when suddenly they offer us a closer look at the fine detail in their rock collection. Before you know it, we're sitting in on the local self-pruning enthusiast monthly meeting, when we're approached by that friendly Spartan in a full double bloke wide squat. He goes on to tell us we've fallen for the old classic knock you out, lock you in a jail cell trick, and will soon be joining the pruning club.
You'll be locked in there for the rest of your miserable days.
We at least test the lock before we curl up and die, and sure enough, it's not safe unless it's crim safe. With a quick bypass mix sneaky, we've got our gear and it's time for some payback. Sweet, sweet revenge. Now it's a quick slip up the old mountainous lady and back to our friends.
You're alive!
I found this letter.
At this point, we realize our paradise cruise is probably over, so it's time for the real questing to begin.
Of a sunken key in a temple off the coast of Corfu.
After a quick catch-up, there's a whole bunch of quests to smash out, which we can complete by following the ultra-straightforward narration of video clips in succession. Riding a horse down a hill, flying eagle over the ocean, jumping off a cliff, finally swimming in the cave to find the objective. After completing those steps, we've found what we came for, and handle some quick long boys before they get even longer. Now we see an obvious rope which we can use to climb and quickly discover the hidden treasure.
Now to meet it all.
And with that, we're done for today. I, for one, have loved your company, and hope that you'll accompany me next time in good company.